everybody. Welcome to Badly for Myself. I lost my son. I can't even talk to my mother. I don't have a normal mother because she chooses to not have me in her life. How could she have any idea what I'm going through? And I wish so much that I had a normal mother. I wish much that I had a mother that loved me. I wish much that I had a father that loved me. And a brother. It's so sad that I don't. And that, of the little family that I created, now I've lost one of my own. It's almost unimaginable how painful that is. I realized something. And I've realized this many times, it's not a new revelation, it's just, you have to have these over and again. Triggered and challenged, and there's supreme places of growth. That's where all the growth comes from, when the wounds get triggered. And it is terrible for me, for sure, and it's terrible for my other son, for sure. But how truly terrible is it for the narcissist? For people who cannot feel love, and for the fact that they are stuck. They are so stuck. I had the ability to learn, to grow. I could get information from the outside that I could change and learn and grow. Their disorder makes it so that they are just bulldozing their way through life, hurting people, and really pretty blind to and unable to change. I remember it really shocked me when I got through with this divorce, and it was just so brutal, and it was just so awful. And right afterwards, my husband was doing it again with his fiance or his girlfriend. He gave her the same lawyer, and they did the exact same thing right afterwards on the heels of our divorce. So another 2 years doing it to her husband. And that was why it was suddenly quiet for me, I realized. And then as soon as they were done with him, they came back to me. But I thought about that, and I thought how awful that is, that he would go through that whole thing and be unfazed and want to do it again, want to do it more. And then when they're done, they'll come do it back, could do it to me some more. I mean, that is the thrill of your life, to get chaos and drama. That's what your life is about. Getting chaos and drama. And getting people to feel sorry for you. And getting people to feel, manipulating people. Just lying to people, pulling wool over their eyes. Taking advantage of people that you see weaknesses. And loathing the weaknesses in yourself so much that you have to just attack and go after weaknesses when you see them in other people. And being able to destroy your own child. I'm okay. Even if I weren't, I would not show him at all. I wouldn't give him some kind of joy to see me hurting because my son is gone. I mean, that's how twisted it is. But what I have to acknowledge is that I was a victim of narcissistic abuse for 25 years before I ever met him. And he came along and was it was definitely a contract, definitely a soul contract. He came along to show me to myself and to get me to so profoundly trigger all of my wounds. He lit them all right up, made them just glaring wounds that had to be healed and had to be fixed. And they are now. And they've become this enormous source of strength and wisdom for me, and I can move on. But they're all still stuck. And when I saw that, when they took me back to court that second time, it was so crazy because I had changed so much, and yet they were just doing the same exact thing, like they were robots. Like they hadn't paid any attention to the changes that had happened. And it was just, they had one MO, they had one thing they could do, and they were just doing it. And if it didn't work, or if it wasn't true, or if it wasn't, they were getting figured out. They didn't really know what to do with that. So they just kept going along as though, like they would be just, their lives would be uncovered, and they would just keep going on as though they weren't. There was just no place for self-correction. I would be willing to meet with them with the therapist, and they could even pick the therapist. And the last thing that they said was, we don't trust therapists, and that was it. So goodbye daughter, goodbye grandsons. I can't imagine it, but that to have that much fear, about what that could mean, what it could mean to discover that, to get some new information, to discover that maybe you didn't know it all, or maybe you had it wrong. To have so much fear about that is really unimaginable to me. And I get it. It's hard to have compassion because they're not aware of how much pain they're in. And they cause so much pain to everybody else. The best thing of all is that we can grow and heal. And it wouldn't have. I honestly can say it wouldn't have if I hadn't been triggered. I try and picture everyone as a little kid, picture them as a child. That helps. That's not to say, I always want to back this up because our codependents can tend to take that too far. That's not to say that you should be letting them into your life and trusting them and all that. You can trust them to be exactly who they've shown you they will be. You can trust them to be exactly who they are. You can trust that they're not going to change, and you can trust them that far. You can trust them to be exactly who they've proven to you that they are. But you can think to yourself about how that's benefited you, ultimately, how it's made you come to live the life that you are supposed to live, come to know yourself intimately and heal your wounds. Because you were drawn to them too. You had wounds that drew you to them. And they were there before that person came into your life. And they helped you heal them. So if that helps you, I hope that helps you. It helps me to think of it that way. Right? So have a great day, and I will talk with you again real soon. Bye.